2, top 9, unlimited super boats, methanol sucking monsters. Now he's starting to dial the wick up. Had a lot of trouble with this rotation. They seem to have got it sorted. He had a hot dog during lunch. I think that sorted his brain out by the look of it. Look at Nicole Reesby just making sure that arm well out over the dashboard. So Scott Donald has no doubt at all about where he is meant to position this boat on this racetrack. So Scott Donald through the washing machine there. Nicely handled. Eased it down massively into that right-hander. But he's playing the long game here today. He didn't say so much, but he intimated that would well be the case, and he is doing a very good job of doing exactly that. So this top 9 unlimited category, we've got to cut them down to 6. So Scotty Donald across the line to open up the account with a 55.017. So that's his best time of the day. So Scotty Donald and Nicole Reesby just taking that boat back. That'll open up their account nicely. We've got, I do believe there is 8 boats trying to squeeze into the 6 positions available as the day progresses. So we will lose 2. Who will it be? We are about to find out. Just trying to see. There's plenty of boats on the ramp. They're all ready to go. Baden Gray down there on the ramp. Kevin Roberts down there. Rob Coley back on the ramp after the fire in the back of that Mouthfresh machine. Rob Coley, of course, just having major problems with the rotation. His driving has been quite good. Unfortunately, trying to get the driving good as well as the rotation sorted out is imperative. Glenn Head coming in to this top 9 as the fastest. And by some margin, first out, it will be Kevin Roberts and Kendra Death, the Stinger sprint boat. Roberts Engineering. So will the Foxton Flyer be able to stitch one together here? Last time out, he parked it up on the bank during the lunch break. I went out there and they had the big persuader working on the back of the boat, just trying to straighten a few things up, just bent the shaft on the jet unit. So they had the big gentle persuader out there, not the little one. They had the big one out there, just trying to get it all squared away, get it back in shape again to be able to compete in this top 9 shootout. He wants to be able to progress into the top 6, but he's certainly going to have to pick his game up. There we go. Show a little bit of that pace of this boat that is available to Kevin when he stands on it. Just developing that confidence. Come on, Kev. We want to see you put your foot into it, mate. Just absolutely smash it. The last chance to dance potentially for 2019. Come on, mate. Get into it. Give it a kick. Give it a whip. Kendra Death saying, righto, mate, over this way, that way, just tweaking, turning, just trying to dial it in. He's just trying to place every foot right because, of course, it is attrition. So, Kevin Roberts, and that's his best time of the day, 59.918. 59.918 for Kevin Roberts. Will that be the end of the day for them? We don't know, but that is the time now that everybody needs to be beating. Scotty Donald, of course, with a 55.071. So now it is Mouthfresh, Rob Coley, the fire in the back of the boat. There's going to be a few nervous moments here for the Mouthfresh team. Rob Coley, 1 point behind Glenn Head in the overall championship, has gone wrong way 3 times from the start shoot. He's got to take the first channel on the left, not the second. Where will this go? 600 cubic inch, small block. Oh, have a look at Ange Coley. He's absolutely nailed it. She leaned right over there so far. She was belting him in the head there. So Rob Coley now looking confident. The boat has been driven beautifully all day. He's had a couple of little moments But that is Rob Coley-esque. That is traditionally what we expect to see from Rob Coley. Very deep into that hairpin. This 600 cubic inch machine certainly gets you there quicker than you'd expect, and he's just parked it up in the dirt. He's lost over half a second out there. That's not the way to go about it, Rob. There's a championship on the line here, young man. Oh no, what is the problem? There's a doubt. Oh no, he got to sort it out. How he did that is absolutely beyond me. The hesitation, then the realisation. So Rob Coley, still with a 56.570. Have a look at that heading up through that middle chute. That massive hesitation, and at the last minute realised he needed to go right and managed to save it by the hair of his chinny chin. So, well, will he progress into this top six? That championship is on the line. I'll tell you, I don't know if I'd ever get into a boat with Rob Coley driving. He is one exciting driver to watch. I just don't know that I would like to be up close and personal and sitting in the silly seat, to be fair. Oh, well, as as Matt Manel just pointed out, there's 11 reasons you wouldn't get into a Rob Coley boat sometimes. I think he's written off 11 of them, that's why. Not too sure if it's 11 or 8, but anyway, it's a fairly significant number. Makes me want to feel like walking. Yeah, actually, hey, how's this, Matt? During the early part of the day, there was this, somebody came into the pits and they said, "You're a bit of a narcissist there, Cavey." I said, "Yeah, that's what I like about myself." All right, Baden Gray, Darren Todd, Vickers Aircraft Company, Prosper Mortgages and Insurance. Baden Gray, quite smooth last time out. Not quite the pace that he would have liked to see. Now starting to get the giddy up and go. So Baden Gray at this track last time had quite a spectacular off. Oh, the big back off got a bit, lifted that back of that Vickers Aircraft machine right up the back of that out of the water. That would have unsettled it, really put the nose deep in there. So it is Baden Gray out on track at the moment. Got the timing hasn't come up, but it does look like there is a transponder on it. So we are going to have to see what happens here. Plenty of water over the bow of the boat around the Rock Gas Wanaka roundabout, but Baden Gray in a nice run, but we don't have a time for him. We don't have a time. So this is going to mean that we're going to have our officials banding together to try and work things out. That's kind of going to be like trying to herd a whole heap of frogs together. And, well, make these guys have a bit of a think as well. So we will get back to you with that situation. Let's hope that they have got a transponder on there and that there is just a problem with the timing loop, because if they haven't, they've forgotten to put the transponder on after the lunch break, it will be regarded as a DNF, in fact, a DNS. So that will be a very unfortunate way to end the day. But we do have Mike Simonson wandering down there to see what's going on. This will be the SprintTech.co.nz, the Toyota Supra engine with the anti-lag. Certainly warms up the turbos, which was what split a little bit earlier. And this looks as though this will be one Ruben Hoxema, Jake Wood doing the navigational duties, Turbo Extreme. Oh, have a look at this young man. He has really taken a big step up. This is very quick. Oh, Ruben has put it up and parked it up. Bing, bang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Ho, ho, ho. I reckon that could be a Bob the Builder moment. So Ruben Hoxema just went out, got amongst it. Check out the replay. The young man, his third event, got very, very confident and just turned in too tight and puts it right up on the jet unit. Bang! That will probably make those guys about 2 inches shorter as they compress their spine up towards their eardrums the way they landed there. But we will take a very short break and effect the rescue of Ruben and Jake. Will be back racing very, very soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to just check on Ruben and Jake. We do believe that they're okay. Give them a huge round of applause. All right, so I've just been joined in the tower by, tower commentary box, whatever you want to call it there, Pete. So Peter Cowie, mate, recently retired out of jet sprinting, but you just can't stay away from the track, can you?
Oh, no, we've still got plenty of customers out there showing how it's done and putting on a good show. So, it's awesome to see and good to be down here supporting them.
Mate, did you see what happened to Ruben just then?
Momentary lack of talent there, just momentarily, but he just turned in a little bit early and clipped the inside of that island and pinged him out. So we've all been there, done that. Absolutely, mate. Well,
your career was very long and very distinguished, mate. How many years after you first started racing did you decide to hang up the steering wheel?
I ended up at 30 years, but made the decision at 29 that that would be good. And never aimed for 30. It just worked out good that's how it happened to be. And when we counted back, it was 30 years pretty much within a few months. So the rest's history, really.
Well, mate, I'm not going to ask you how many world championships you've won or how many New Zealand championships you won, because I do recall there a couple of years ago that you had a bit of a poster behind your pit and paddock tent there, and I said, Pete, I think you've actually got the number wrong there on your World Championship wins, and you went, oh yeah, so I did.
Yeah, you're right enough, actually, but look, as a racer, I think you just go out there and you're racing for the day and to do your best at each individual event, and you're not so focused on the championships and the previous trophies, you're just looking for the next good result. So that sort of worked for me anyway, and tried to keep me honest and keep the trophies tucked away until you retire.
Well, that's it, mate. You know, you can't be sitting there riding high on the accolades until retirement comes up, and you did very, very well indeed. Now, this sort of Toyota Supra engine, you sort of developed this hull and this boat alongside Ruben Hoxema and Eric Hoxema, of course. A lot of cracking and popping with the boat as we see it circulating. Can you tell us the reason behind that?
Yeah, we didn't really have it set up that way initially when we got it going, and that's the boat that was going to be a single-seater, and people might have recalled seeing it run 3 or 4 years ago, and it was a concept we looked at introducing, but it didn't. It really didn't take off, I guess you could say, but we equally didn't market it either. We the same year we developed the Quad Sprinter, the 4-seater jet sprint boats, and alongside Lloyd Ferguson across there, and that just took off, and Lloyd kept flicking orders at us and asking us to hurry up, and we did. So so the poor old single seater went on the back burner, and Eric Hoxema, Ruben's dad, was very generous helping us with that project, and he owned the motor, and so when Ruben was starting to show a bit of form and getting keen on racing, it was like, we'll convert her back to a 2-seater and give it a go. But the crackling and banging is anti-lag, I understand, and so that just helps. When they de-accelerate or lift off the throttle, the motor's putting a bit of fuel and a bit of ignition down into the exhaust pipes, and it keeps spinning the turbo up so you don't get that turbo lag. But what we hear out the exhaust is the crackling and banging, and it sounds pretty horrendous at times. But it apparently, from a driver's perspective, it works very well and helps when he stands back on the throttle, helps it give it that snap on the throttle and to get a good response, of course.
Well, that responsiveness, all important. Now, you never went down the path of the twin turbos or the blown style of engines. What was the reason you didn't do that?
Well, if I lifted this cap off and you saw how little hair there is under the cap, you know I don't need any hair dryers, Cobber.
You are absolutely bloody right there, mate. So just got the ambos up there, just doing the obligatory checks and measures there of our driver and our navigator up there. So certainly nothing to worry about. We just do make sure that they are okay. That probably would have hurt the back a little bit, I think, the flat landing on the back there. You've been through that before, mate. It's no fun when you come to a sudden stop.
No, and particularly on the hard stuff like that, it actually did quite a hard belly flop. But I think those new carbon fibre seats and the special foam we put on those Yeah, I don't expect there'll be any issues there, but obviously the AMBOs, and we've got all the right safety people here to check them out. But yeah, it won't have helped the condition of the hull, it's fair to say.
Yeah, but might have a bit of work in front of you, mate. Lucky it's a South Island one, because you can just tow it back home and get it sorted out fairly quickly.
Yeah, a bit of a priority on space around the workshop. We've already got 2 or 3 of them booked in, but they're still in pretty good shape, admittedly. But so no, it's all good. I'm sure we'll get it sorted out.
Mate, I saw that you were over in the UAE, United Arab Emirates, if I'm correct, there, at a big show over there. Tell us a little bit about that. You took the 4-seater sprint boat over there?
Yeah, we did, and it was originally that was a boat that we built to sort of fill the void and adrenaline that I was anticipating I was going to miss when I got out of jet sprinting. So it started out as my personal 4-seater, and then we sort of put a 700 horsepower motor in it, and one thing led to another, and it sort of got a bit out of control really early on, so we decided we'd build it as a bit of an elite high-performance boat, and we understood the Arabs liked a bit of that, so we always had plans to try and break into that market, and so we freighted it over earlier this year and zipped on over to the Abu Dhabi Custom Show, and yeah, we were the only boat there, but there's lots of people looking for something unusual and unique. And the Arabs certainly do it in grand style when it comes to that. So, yeah, that's all a work in progress at the moment, in actual fact. So, yeah, we're looking to establish a 4-seater quad sprinter operation over there at the moment, and working in with not only the Arab operators, but also talking obviously with Lloyd and a few of our other existing operators to see where they might be interested in fitting in with all that. And yeah, so we'll see how it all develops, but it's a progressive market, and we've been cautioned that that's the case. It takes a while for them to get to know us and to trust that you're good to do business with, and they check you out. And but fortunately, the meetings that we've had so far, and we've established an agent over there, it's looking very promising at this stage. So it'll be interesting to see if we end up getting some jet sprint competition racing over there in the future at some stage.
I reckon that'd be absolutely fantastic, although we do know that the Middle East has got a hell of a lot of sand, and we do see camels wandering around the deserts over there, so you might get the competition, but where are you going to get the water from?
Well, yeah, it's a fair call. The desert's a pretty tough environment, and you look at the face of those camels, they never look too happy, and now I've been there, I can tell you why, and where they live and what they have to put up with, there's a good reason for the look on that face. But yes, there's look, they've they're very motivated and driven people, and in the UAE, and they have money, they have motivation, and they absolutely love their motorsport. And as you know, there's not a lot of alcohol or drugs or anything like that over there. But when it comes to cars, she's open slather, man, and they do things with Land Cruisers and patrols and drifting and burnout pads that you just wouldn't believe. It's unbelievable. They are ruthless with it.
Well, even the Formula One tunnel holes gets a huge following over in that part of the world as well. So to get the jet sprinting over there, mate, and of course I can't speak Arabic, but I'm sure that if I speak quick enough, it'll sound like Arabic. So make sure you look after your old mate Cavey for a gig over there behind the microphone, will you?
Oh, I'm sure you'd better start learning the lingo pretty quick, mate, I reckon.
Oh, no. No, I can't think of it. Oh, Tagaliawi. I know that means too expensive.
Don't start at that end.
No, we'll start it right. Yeah. So, mate, obviously, the first 4-seater we saw out here at the Oxbow Aqua Track, and what a spectacular looking machine. And of course, the Oxbow Adventure guys really ran that to great effect down here, and it was a very popular machine. So that's just gaining in popularity around the world. How good's that?
Yeah, it is. It's great to see it spreading, and it's something that, without really Lloyd Ferguson's involvement and his motivation to pick up on what we could do and what we could contribute and to develop that whole product, it's just really just gone ahead in leaps and bounds. And now Lloyd and his son-in-law Darb, have expanded that business, and we're going to see a really impressive operation down in the Gibson Valley, closer to Queenstown in the future, and they're making really good progress there. We're just building the third boat for them at the moment, and they really going to set a standard. So yeah, all ups to them, and it's just great to be part of it. And at the end of the day, as you say, we're spreading the disease of jet sprinting around the world, and allowing more people to experience the thrill of it. And that's just got to be a good thing for our sport, I hope. So.
Oh, look, there's no doubt about that. I mean, one of the other things that I've found quite interesting, of course, because Lloyd did commission the 4-seat of Dan Cowper truck. I'll actually be at Turikina for the Dan Cowper's Suzuki 4x4 Extreme next weekend, up just out of Wanganui there. So get up there if you're around, ladies and gentlemen. But it's really quite interesting when you see people who've got the foresight to sort of invest into these sorts of things, how they can just get that ball rolling.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of drive to make these things happen, clearly. But first and foremost, you need people with foresight. And the world needs more of them, and so it's very exciting times ahead from that perspective, and it's great that New Zealand's leading the way, and the guys over at Oxbow really, I believe firmly they're going to set the standard for how that operation will go worldwide. So yeah, it's got to be good. It's got to be good for jet sprinting at this level. It's got to be good for all the individual competitors, television reach, all of the above, and. Yeah, so no, it's looking positive.
And that's really great to see. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, on the world stage of jet sprinting, the best hulls and the best jet units do come out of this country. We've seen people around the world try to emulate those sorts of things, not to such great effect. Some good engines obviously come out of the States, but now this guy, Robert White, you've been racing with this guy. He's about to come out on track now, mate. He's been around... Oh, I don't know, since Jesus Christ was playing full back. So, mate, what do you expect to see from Robert here, top 9?
Oh, look, he's given the boat a good tidy up, and track sport have been all over the motor, and it's actually looking quite good. I gave him a wee tip just to trim it in a bit, so hopefully it goes well, or he won't be talking to me.
No worries at all, Peter Cowie. Thanks very much, mate. Stick around if you want. But fantastic as Robert White, the fisherman from Invercargill, out on track at the moment, and of course his daughter Nicole, gone from 1 horsepower in equestrian events into massive horsepower out here at the Oxbow Aqua Track Wanaka for the final round of the New Zealand Jetsprints Series, brought to you by Mouthfresh. Mouthfresh, the best tasting toothpaste in the world. And have a look at the way Robert White is throwing this around. Whatever advice you gave to him there, Pete, I think it's working to great effect. This run looking smoother than we've seen. Grabbed a bit of dirt on the outside, but Robert White grabs a bit of dirt on the inside. I'll tell you what, the man pushes it. Don't take your eyes off the track for a second. Anything can happen, and it quite often does when Robert White's at the helm. 54.547. Robert White straight to the top of the table. Wow, mate, ever since he's been driving, has he always driven ragged and right on the edge?
Well, in fairness to him, prior to buying this boat, which was my old NZ boat from a long time ago, when Robert was racing and won the New Zealand Champs, I think in about 1986, jet sprint boats back then, a really good one had 350 horsepower in it, and it was just a little aluminium dinghy. He had plastic school seats in his thing to save weight in the early days. So it's a big transition to jump into 900 horsepower or whatever he's got there. And, in fairness to the man. So.
Glenn Head now out on track with Hayley Todd as the navigator here. Altherm Window Systems, windows to the world. The man who came in to this top 9 in the unlimited category, clearly the fastest. The man leading the championship by 1 point at the moment to Rob Coley, out on track. And I'll tell you what, Lucas Oils will be keeping a very close eye on what's doing that. G'day to Rolf if you're watching on the live stream. Glenn Head, wow, this young man certainly has the numbers on the board with a 24.901 at the split eastern down through the chicane. Now picking up the pace, very quick point to point, squeeze the accelerator through here, goes straight up that middle chute. That's a nice style of driving through there. Glenn Head, former world champion in this unlimited category. Wow, this is going to be a tidy lap. Don't worry about that. And a 51.749. Not his quickest lap, by the way. Certainly not going to throw everything at it right now. Mate, this guy certainly throws a lot at it, doesn't he?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. There's a lot of horsepower in that package, and When we built a new boat for Glenn about 3 years ago, he was, he was already mad on making horsepower. There was no question about that, and it was, he was never going to be short of a bit of power. But he's really getting that thing to hook up good now, and he's certainly looking racy. Lap times, he's definitely playing safe, isn't he, to move through to the next field. He's just a little bit quicker than Group A only. So it's that technical rotation that we've got here today that's sort of favouring the mid-powered motors as opposed to something like Glenn's, that really would love a longer straight to let it strut its stuff.
Yeah, one of those interesting things is we now go to the Group B category. We sort of jumped through because we only had a few in the top 9 of the unlimited stages. So moving forward to the top 6, it'll be Kevin Roberts, Rob Coley, Scott Donald, Robert White and Glenn Head. We are now in the top 6 of the Group B category. Chris Rasmussen, Holly Sutherland out on track at the moment. Really, Chris just seems to be overcooking those right-handers and really bogging it down, costing me valuable time. Wow, that's an impressive style and brave move, getting right out of the acceleration there and really drifting it wide, coming into that hairpin. Not sure that it works as well as he'd like to think, but anyway, finds himself in the top 6, so he must be doing something okay. Bit of a hesitation there as he set it up into that next left-hander for the professionals. The real estate agent is at the helm. So Chris Rasmussen on the track as we speak. Now down the back part of the track, through the line. We are going to have to come back to you with a time for that. The time clocks have had a bit of a hiccup. So actually, Ruben, come over here, have a bit of a chat to us, mate. Looks like you got a bump on your knee, Ruben. Ladies and gentlemen, I got the man who just spat the boat out in spectacular fashion here with me in the commentary tower. He's taken one shoe off. If you found a shoe, or did you lose a shoe?
Oh, it's just there. I just took it off.
Mate, you got a bump on your knee. Oh no, that's going to need a dinosaur band-aid.
The boat's got a bigger bump on its knee.
What did you do to it?
I don't know. I need to be friends with Peter, though.
Oh, so this is why you've come into the commentary tower, not to talk to me, to have a chat to Peter.
Nah, no one wants to talk to you, KV.
Oh, what? So get out. Go on. No. So you boys all right, though?
Yeah, we're all right. Yeah. Little sore.
Now, whose fault was it?
Definitely Navigator's.
Definitely Navigator's fault. Yes, I saw you turn in early there, mate, so that had to be the Navigator's fault. I can't see any other reason why that would have happened. But so you've got the ice pack, seriously, the ice pack over that little bruise, mate. That is really soft.
It's not. It's not. It's sore.
Said like a true sook. It's not. It is sore. But so, mate, that's the end of your 2019 season. We're going to see the boat back out with Richard Bird in it.
Probably not.
What did you do? Tell us what you did to it. Hang on. We've got Craig Shaw coming out now in Outer Limits with Stu White. Don't go too far away, man genius boy. So,